if you know something and you would still act the same even if you didn't know that thing, then what's the point of knowing that thing? In my opinion, knowledge without application is almost like useless knowledge. It's like, it's not really something that you really needed to know then, was it? Because you're still carrying out the same action as if you didn't even know it, you know? Do you see how I'm comparing those two things? If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Andy. I'm just making these gospel related videos and just documenting my journey into getting closer with Jesus Christ. In this video, we are talking about having too much information, and honestly, I love not knowing things. As of me making this video, it's 2025, and we live in just such a high access to information era, right? Like, not only is the advancement of the internet accelerated the amount of information that is readily available to us, but when it comes to like the emerging AIs and everything like ChatGPT, it's like we can be experts in a particular field very quickly, you know? We just have so much information at our fingertips, and sometimes it just feels very overwhelming, actually. And combine this with social media, and then we can also have access into knowing what our friends are doing or what our relatives are doing, you know, depending on how they update their stories or their timelines or whatever it is these days, whatever people use. It's honestly just too much for me. And it's actually one of the reasons why I deleted all my social media. Even when I did have my social media accounts active, I actually just actively tried to stay off it because I just didn't really care what people did. And honestly, it gave me more peace not knowing. It brings me peace not having social media these days and not having some kind of like social pressure or whatever it is to continually post or like to serve my followers or whatever it is about content. But the thing is, like, the reason I bring that up is because there's something so awesome about not knowing things. And I think that just helps us stay more focused, and it just helps us stay in our lane. I'll show you this, one of my favorite clips.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
It's from The Matrix, one of my all-time favorite movies, where Cypher just comes to the conclusion that, like, hey man, the lack of knowledge is actually really good. I want to add another quick anecdotal story to this, and it actually has to do with an old coworker of mine. And bless her, and it's nothing, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like this. This is not some kind of like, you know, I'm not trying to shoot shots at anybody. She was basically looking up social media accounts of our other coworkers. I remember asking her something along the lines of like, I mean, you know, do you really care? And she said something like, well, I need to know. She was like, I need to know, I really need to know. And it was kind of, at the time, like the way I remember thinking was like, it was kind of like eyebrow raising. It was, do you really need to know? She phrased it like she really needed to know something, whether siblings or I don't know, like she needed to know if like the boss had a kid or something. I forget what it was. Is it really necessary that you know a particular piece of information on someone? The way I think of it is that new information really gonna change the way you're acting? You know, is that new information really gonna change any action that you're gonna do in the world? Right? Otherwise, like, is it really necessary? Is it information that's really gonna change how you're gonna act? If you know something and you would still act the same even if you didn't know that thing, then what's the point of knowing that thing? In my opinion, knowledge without application is almost like useless knowledge. It's like, it's not really something that you really needed to know then, was it? Because you're still carrying out the same action as if you didn't even know it, you know? Do you see how I'm comparing those two things? At that point, like, what are you really satisfying? Is it really just to make yourself feel better? You know, is it just sort of like a good to know kind of a thing? Then what's really the point, right? The reason I bring up this coworker though is that she ended up actually digging up information that actually ended up like making her disturbed. Like, she found out information that was actually very much causing her stress. It became a whole HR thing, and there are a lot of other people involved. And it all kind of stemmed from the fact that this person, like, she kept like digging up information. I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, hey man, you're getting what you deserve. Sometimes you don't want to know information about people. Sometimes there's things you're going to find out about people that you wish you actually didn't know. You can't unknow that information. It's like once you learn something about someone, unless that person has changed, you know, then you're stuck knowing it. Like, was it really worth it? Like, is it really worth your peace sometimes? That's sometimes something that I consider. What does this all have to do with God and the faith? It's because I think as humans, we're not really necessarily designed to know every little thing. We're not designed to know God's plan. Even God's plan in a grand scale might not even make sense to us, actually. Like, if God were to actually describe his plan, his grand architect plan for the entire world, for every single human living on earth, and he were to explain that to you, would that really even make sense to you? Like, really? If it made sense, then wouldn't you also be a God? Right? I would imagine that probably way too complicated. I think that's also why God just asks us to trust him. Do you really think God's gonna sit there and explain his grand architect plan to you that could probably last, like, he's gonna sit there speaking to you for the next 20 years trying to describe his plan or something, right? Like, what are we doing, you know? The simplified version of it is that he's just saying, look man, I'm not gonna explain it to you, you just gotta trust me. I think God says that in so many different ways and continually throughout the Bible, across some of the different prophets and some of the other people, a lot of the characters that, a lot of the people that he spoke to in the past about, hey, just you gotta trust me on this one. And so that's the thing, it's like, just let God do his thing, man. Just let God yield and just allow his provision. I love not knowing the exact grand plan of everything, right? It's like, I love the simplicity in things. I love the simplicity in just receiving instruction and just doing it. That sometimes we can only do that, you know? Sometimes it's like, that's all I want to know, and that's all I really need to know. And that's coming from someone like me, and I'm gonna tell you too, is like, I come from a scientific background. Like, I went to college to study chemistry, and I'm the type of person to be gathering information, okay? Like, when you're in the sciences, you're going to be gathering a lot of information. People like me, we're trying to put all the puzzle pieces together. We're trying to, you know, make a solid conclusion about something given all the information that we've collected, right? It's like, that's actually the type of work that I was in. There was a bit of training involved when it came to learning the faith, because it's like, I have to train myself to not want to know everything when it came to the faith. This is actually really important. I feel like a lot of people are going to fall into this kind of boat. And so when it comes to God, I sometimes just don't ask any questions. If I'm given instruction, I'm just going to try and carry out the instructions. That's it. I'm not going to ask any questions. It could just be over my head. I just trust him. But I love not knowing the grand plan and everything, because it brings me peace. It helps me stay focused and in my lane. If I find out about a lot of information, there's probably going to be information that there might be some information that I wish I didn't know. That's why I really like that clip in The Matrix, because there's a lot of relatability when it comes to that character Cypher. Me and him have kind of come to the same conclusion. It's like, hey man, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not knowing is actually just the perfect thing, especially when it comes to provision with the Lord. Let God provide, man. Let him do his thing. And that's pretty much the whole video. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment. See you guys in the next one. Peace.